Hey guys. Alright, so done with the 60-day challenge, and I learned a shit ton from going out. We're almost going out for 60 days in a row. And to kind of bunker everything down and go over what I learned, I made a video. I just wanted to preface it shortly and let you know that I'm going over topics such as alcohol, to drink or not to drink. I'm going over topics as what did I actually learn from going out for so long, and not only from a game perspective, but also from a personal skills and skills development perspective. What did I learn in terms of shooting video, rendering video, editing video, and what did I learn from, say, a game perspective? What did I learn about women? What did I learn about myself? So yeah, let's try it out. Here goes.
Alright, here we go guys. 60-day challenge is now officially over. Today's Thursday. Challenge ended on Monday according to my calculations at least. So yeah, here we are, 60 days later, 60 days of going out, 60 days of shooting video. And if you've been following this challenge, as you may very well know at this point, I failed it. I failed this fucking challenge. I believe it was day 33 or 34 where I fucked up. Not only did I forget about shooting a video, I also forgot about going out in the first place. So that was terrible. But even so, I learned a shit ton. And even though I missed a day there, that definitely did not stop, definitely not stop me from consistently going out afterwards. So yeah, I'll admit I've missed days. I haven't prioritized going out during the day as much ever since I failed the challenge. And I think part of the reason why is also a little bit of an excuse. Recently I've kind of like dug deep down inside of myself, and I realized that I'm kind of a little bit intimidated by day game. So I made plans with a wing to go out tomorrow. Actually 2 wings, just to make sure that at least one of them shows up. Definitely want to do more day game, especially because for me, if that's where the fear is, that's what I need to be doing. Just as I talked about in the video about fear and motivation, it's definitely something that if there's something you fear, go do that. And I noticed for me, day game is something that I've been making up excuses about it. I've been putting it off. I've been like pushing it away, trying not to actually do it. And then for the past few days, when I would come home from work, is I would get off the bus, and I have a walk of approximately 1 kilometer, and I would make a deal with myself, hey, you need to approach before you get home. Then what happens is, I think at least, I put so much pressure on myself, I freeze the fuck out, and I'm not able to approach anything. I stick to other habits, but day game approaching, I cannot do it. And it's kind of crazy actually, because whenever I go out for a night game, I'm very intense, I'm very on, I feel very dominant in that environment. I feel completely, totally at ease in a club environment. Day game is just, it's not the same. So yeah, it's been an exciting learning experience. And I kind of want to do this video to recap a little bit on what I've learned and what I've experienced and so on. And I actually remember just back from some of the very early days of going out, the focus was very much on going out and meeting women, it has been the entire way through, don't get me wrong, but I also moved a little bit of that focus towards doing something that scares you every single day. And I've come to realize, at least for me, that it's a fantastic mantra. Because, like, realistically, depending on how devoted you are, realistically, if you have a job and fitness and whatever things you have to do in your life, you may not have the time to go out for like several hours every day or even just 1 hour. So one thing you can do is you can do if there is a girl, I will approach her. If you see a woman somewhere in the grocery store, in the line or in the cinema, wherever it may be, you can approach, sure. I've done a little bit of that, but frankly and honestly, I'm still intimidated by the thought of like being very loud in the supermarket. I am gonna get around to it because it is something that scares me. So it's definitely something I need to do. But more importantly, it's funny to notice that if you don't have the time for that, you can do other things to push yourself to. And I feel like game is a tool set. It's a tool set that's designed to do one thing, and that one thing is building confidence. Because that's what women want in you. It does several other very important things for you as well, such as giving you a bit of a strategy and so on. But never mind that, the core goal is to build confidence, at least in my belief. And I feel like you can do that in a number of ways. You can go through hardship, which is, I guess, very common in poor countries. I'm trying not to be stereotypical or overgeneralization here, overgeneralizing? Yeah, overgeneralizing. But I do believe that people who has a harsher upbringing, they're used to more, so they can take more. They're used to rejection. They're used to dealing with all of that us more privileged people may not be that used to. So it's kind of interesting too. So yeah, even though I did move my focus from being very oriented towards women in approaching, and I moved it more over in the area of doing something that scares you. And maybe to some extent that also became an excuse. Like I would be out day gaming and I'd be like, no, I'm doing this or that thing today, and I'm not doing, the day game thing today. And so for me, my mind is not yet at a point where it's just a thing that I do. Unfortunately, I would love that it was. It's just not there yet. Weirdly enough, though, for a night game, it totally is. I just kind of walk up, and sometimes I don't even think about it. It's just like, what up? And they're like, what? Where did that guy come from? And I'm like, shit, where did that come from, right? I don't notice that more. And that feels fucking powerful. That's amazing. That's an amazing feeling to have. I just don't have that for day game. So I want to put myself out there more for day game, which is also what I took steps to do this week and what I'm going to be doing tomorrow. So yeah, that's kind of interesting. But moving from that and over onto what I've learned, there were two criteria for the original challenge. One was to go out every day and approach every day, which then kind of became this whole do something that scares you thing. And then the other thing was make a video of it. And I know I've been a little bit slow on uploading some of the videos. I remember particularly over the weekends, I would film in the morning walking home from going out, and then I wouldn't upload it right away. I would probably upload like all 3 videos Thursday, Friday, Saturday on Sunday. Along with the Sunday video. So there's kind of like a bigger blog of videos to watch towards the end of the week. That being said though, the whole experience of trying to do that and what I've learned is just fucking, it's fun. I love setting these goals for myself. I love making challenges and kind of little small ways that you can challenge yourself to be better, do something better. Now keep in mind, I've never done anything like this before. If you saw some of my first video logs, you even saw me like struggling to walk and film like this. So weird for me, so new. Just totally uncomfortable filming if there are people around me. Not to speak of, I was just terrible at it. Like occasionally I would do, I think I have 1 video, maybe 2, with instead of like having the vertical camera, I have it like you would take a photograph, which is, it's terrible for video because you can't turn that shit around like you can with a photograph. So I was just unknowledgeable, and that's part of why I wanted to do this challenge, because I wanted to learn about it, because I want to spin up the YouTube channel. I want to get video out there. I want to do infield. I just want to embrace the whole video as a media. I think it's a fantastic media, and I learned a lot from doing that. Just weeding out some of the basics that I just went on, like how not to hold the camera, how to position yourself towards lighting, and so on and so on. Some of the basics, and then I even moved on over to learning quite a bit about editing, which is fun. I was looking into a few. Like first of all, I had to do research on what editing application do I use, and initially I started with something as basic as Windows Movie Maker, which is terrible. And then I was kind of looking at something like Sony Vegas, and I'm like, okay, that's a little bit much. It's a little bit too immersive. I dialed it back, and I looked a little bit on Adobe Premiere I forgot what it's called. I think it's Adobe Premiere actually, Premiere Pro. Yeah, that kind of resonates. And I was kind of like, yeah, that's a paid program and so on. So I ended up with Filmora, which is, well, granted, it's also a paid program, but it was only like, I believe, $60, and it's a one-time payment, and I have the license for life, free updates and so on. And I figured, hey, that's a good one, and I saw some videos about it, and it just looked super easy to use, which is fantastic for a newbie like myself. So, lots of stuff learned about video editing, lots of stuff learned about video and filming in general. So it was kind of like the two obvious. Those are more related to point 2 of the whole exercise, of the whole challenge here. So what did I actually learn in terms of pickup? I feel like I can list a whole list of shenanigans that I've just learned, like a bunch of stuff that I've just learned from going out so much. One of which I'm definitely more comfortable in the club. Actually, I want to say I'm more comfortable with myself at all times. And now that's translating into the club. I am also at ease with myself in the club. I've never really been a guy who's had trouble with being at ease with myself, like sitting at home. Only whenever I would like beat myself up mentally for not going out or something like that. Besides that, I've always been okay with myself. And that's the calmness, that at ease is translating into the club and my work environment. For example, I got a new job here in January, and I noticed that I was kind of dominating the job interview in a way that I was not used to. So that was an amazing experience as well. And then, yeah, there's also the whole notion of, I felt I was kind of mentioning it already, the whole notion of forgiveness. Whereas in the past, I would usually beat myself the fuck up over, say, not going out, or you could have done that better, or you didn't pull, or you pulled but you didn't fuck, and blah 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 blah, all of these things. And strangely enough, actually, pulling but not fucking seems to be quite the thing for me. So, that sucks. It's the way it is anyway. And yeah, so I've definitely learned a lot in terms of like forgiving myself. I'd be like, okay, I think that's what went wrong, or that's what went wrong, or that's what went wrong. And I kind of think about it and destruct the whole interaction and kind of think, okay, what went wrong? And you chose the right strategy, you did everything right, it's just the wrong girl, she's not a one-night stand kind of girl. And I'm not saying right now that there are girls that do that and girls that don't. I sincerely believe that all women have both aspects in them. I guess I'm just not at a point yet where I can really say there are those girls and those girls, or if they're all kind of like uniform and you can. So what I call today would call, say, that's a girl that you can't have a one night stand with because she doesn't do that. Maybe I could have if my game were better. I honestly don't. I couldn't tell. So yeah, that's kind of a little bit of a weird topic. That being said, though, I definitely. So what else have I got? Yeah, I had a big sticking point with kissing actually. Not that I didn't like it or thought I was bad at it or anything like that. I think it's just the whole initiating it. It's kind of like it's very. So what you're trying to do is very out there all of a sudden, and I've not always been very comfortable with that. Actually, I've been very uncomfortable with that. In fact, another one of my big sticking points is what does other people think of me? I think those two goes kind of nicely hand in hand, because what does it say about me if I go for the kiss and she rejects me? And I know logically it says a lot of good things about me, between me and the girl, but I think I also, with the whole upbringing that we have in most of like the Western world, where it's like you're kind of like not supposed to speak up, you're supposed to be kind of quiet, and it's kind of like teehee if you like a girl during your early childhood, it's kind of weird. So I've been very reluctant to express that. I still am to some extent more than I would like, but I'm definitely getting more out there. And I feel like my whole, what do you call that? The whole way that I ease into the kiss close, it's a lot more smooth, it's a lot more natural. And I like that word natural, I know I say that a lot, but it kind of for me, so the goal has always been for me to build this whole tool set of game into my personality. I don't want it to be something that I have to actively think about all all the time. And I know for learning purposes and for some years it will be something I have to think about, but eventually I won't have to. And I'm always keeping that goal in mind that I want to get to the point where I don't have to think about it. And sure, sometimes I don't. Sometimes there are girls who just likes me for me, or actually I don't entirely believe that they like me for me. They do, but they like me for the me I have become. So I've worked myself up to a certain extent, and then I attract some girls, and they're just into me. Whereas the girls that I really, really want, I'm not at that point yet where they're just attracted to me. So for really hot girls, the girls that I want to have sex with, or not sex necessarily, but want to get to know, it's not like that. I need to actively think about, oh, okay, you know what, she's saying that in a very, oh, he's cute kind of voice, so I need to spike her emotions. How would I do that? I'll be like, fuck you, why did you say that? And you can kind of like back on, like, there are lots of tools that I keep in mind all the time, and I try to work it one at a time to kind of really incorporate that on my backbone. See, that's another big part of what I've learned, and kind of going hand in hand with the last part there. I've gotten very, very good, or at least I've gotten a lot better at sticking with goals that I set for myself. So during this whole 30, for 33 or 34 days, however long it was, I did in fact go out every single fucking day. And then I kind of dumbed it down. I started skipping day game a little bit, not immediately, but I've been going out on average 3 or 4 times a week. I would say 4 on average, because I have gone out every single Thursday, Friday, Saturday evening, and then an occasional day game. But I've really been prioritizing that day game low because it scares me, right? Also because I feel it's more, like the polling is part of what happens in night game. It's a lot more in the cards, which is, I want to practice that because I feel like I haven't had a whole lot of experience doing that, even though it's very natural for me to pull from a date or from, actually just from dates. I'll meet someone, I'll get their number, I'll get to know them, I'll pull them home from a date, and we'll fuck and we'll get to know each other, we'll become fuck buddies, and so on and so on. And I feel like that's not the same for day game, so been prioritizing night game. But on top of sticking with just game, I've had immense struggle during the past 5 or 6 months sticking to my fitness goals. And I think now for 2017, since mid-February, I haven't missed a single workout day, so that's fucking fantastic. Currently we're in the middle of March, so it's just amazing. Super happy about that. My diet's not been perfect, but it's getting better. I used to have like immense sugar craves, like not being able to like say no to sugar, which also ties into another habit. I would like spend excessive amounts of money on snacking, not like in one go, but like over the course of a year or a month or several months. I would have spent a lot of money snacking. So I'm getting better at saying no to like a crave to spend money, and the crave to like spend money on sugar. I think they're kind of like the same habit, which is why I'm talking about both here. But it's funny just noticing how I've gotten better at that. Very consistent reader now. I think been reading every day for quite a while now, even on like Sundays and Saturdays and so on. Going out a lot also means that I've completely cut out alcohol. Even so a great example of this is I was out last Friday. I was out the entire night, like until like 7 in the morning, and I had to get on a bus at 9:15 because I needed to go. I had like a soccer event with some friends of mine, and this soccer event, it was like it was kind of in the cards that you'd be drinking the entire day because it was sponsored by a bar, like a disco club. Yeah, it's a club. And then we'd go have dinner at the club in the evening, and we get like a booze package, like basically what they call bottle service. Yeah, bottle service in the States, and we'd have all of that. So it was very much in the cards that we'd be drinking. And I only slept from I guess I fell asleep at around 8 till 9, and then get up some deal and out the door. And it was kind of funny that I had one beer, and then I'm kind of like, nah, it's, like alcohol doesn't do for me what I feel like it used to do. And I think that comes from the fact that I've been so okay with going out and meeting people, that I don't need the alcohol. I realize I don't need it, so I don't want it. I prefer being in control and full conscience because I'm a stronger being, and I'm just stronger, but I learn more, and I love learning, especially about like interpersonal relations and pickup. All right, so what other pickup skills did I actually learn? Case closing, I have taken massive action. So when I think of myself going out 2 years ago, I thought I was taking massive action. I feel like I'm realizing now, not to put my former self down or anything, but I'm approaching a lot more. Like I kind of made it a rule to memorize the whole mantra of minimize time between sets, maximize time in set. So for every set that I have, I will be very persistent and try and make it last for as long as I possibly can. Like there's room for a lot more there in terms of persistence, but I've gotten so much better than I was at the beginning. Like it's just it's kind of unfathomable for me. Unfathomable. Can't really understand it. I've gotten so much better at it. I'm way better at persisting through a set, and I think that kind of goes hand in hand with taking rejection. I'm like, hey, and they'll be like, fuck you, or like, even better, they give you like a shoulder, they don't say anything. I don't really consider that a rejection anymore. I just kind of go on a rant about whatever. I'm like, oh, okay, I see you're having the fucking strawberry margarita or whatever daiquiri thing. And actually, that's funny because I used to work at a bar where they made like really good daiquiris, and at that bar, there was like this boss of mine, his name was like Rasmus, and Rasmus is a fucking amazing guy. And through working at that bar and meeting Rasmus, he was only like 5 or 10 years older than me. I don't entirely remember. So I kind of got to learn his group of friends to know better, and then they'd be taking me out, and all these guys had so much money, so they'd be like popping booze in me, and I made some of like the best friends I possibly could have for my entire life, and like you kind of just go on a rant like that, and the girl's like, oh, okay, you know what, maybe this guy's not so affected by my little shoulder shit test here. And so there's a lot of scenarios where I don't really, take no for an answer anymore. I'm just persistent, and I really fucking love spotting it, not necessarily as an afterthought, but like when it happens. I love noticing it when it happens, like going up in a set and noticing, oh, old me would have ejected now, but I'm not ejecting. I'm not even I'm not even rattled or anything. I'm just like, yeah, whatever. And that's also an amazing feeling. So I've taken a lot more action. And I've just gotten, because I've taken a lot more action and I've maximized the time in sets, I feel like I'm pushing and I'm pressing my own buttons right where it hurts. So I've gotten a lot more confident in general, which is amazing. Unfortunately, as I've mentioned quite a few times, I haven't been able to transfer that confidence to day game. But it's I kind of do have anyway, because I know whenever I do a day game approach, it's not like the hi, how are you? It's not the kind of awkward approach that it used to be. It's more like, hey you, hey, how are you? I just stop. You're fucking hot. It's illegal. Whatever. Something funny. It's not funny, but I kind of surprised myself. Is what I'm trying to say. I kind of surprised myself that the delivery is so much better than what I expect. So I also want to get in the habit of removing any expectations of myself. I think that's probably the main reason why I'm not doing day game. And then, there's the whole notion of like kiss closing, physicality. I love using physicality as a tool instead of doing it for the sake of being physical. I don't want to say I'm over that because I like being physical. But it's funny though how you can kind of influence their perception of you by being or purposely not being physical. And then there's also the whole notion of like facing more rejection, getting a little bit more harsh, don't really get affected by it as much. And I feel like generally I'm just in a very good momentum. So all in all, it's been an amazing experience with 60 days of going out, meeting women and pushing your boundaries and doing something that scares you. It's fucking fantastic. And I've been trying to keep doing something that scares me every single fucking day. It's hard to keep coming up with exercises. So I've let all of my friends know that I'm doing that and I want to consistently do that. So whenever a friend challenges me, I have the leverage to do something that's completely crazy. So even something as silly like the other day, my friend challenged me to like go work out with sunglasses on. It's kind of like an unspoken thing that you don't work out with sunglasses on because it's like a bro thing and you don't want to be the bro at the gym. You don't want to be that guy. And I'm like, okay, fuck, I don't want to do that. So I need to do that. And I haven't gotten around to it yet. But yeah, it's funny though because you can just kind of like make a list of all the funny, crazy, stupid things you want to do. Like wear a clown nose. Do whatever the hell that scares you. Approach into fitness. Even if you burn the entire city, I'm still trying to realize that myself, to be fair, but like even if you burn your whole city, you can move. I'm not necessarily set on living in the city for the rest of my life. In fact, I'm hoping I won't. So it's really, really funny, and it's just about like getting out there, pushing your buttons, pushing your, comfort, making sure that you live in discomfort, because that's where the growth is. And as a last and final note, I've also gotten so much better at entertaining myself. I just thought of that from saying pushing my own buttons for so many times. But yeah, I like whenever I'm out, I fucking love dancing like a retard, and like doing keyboard or like guitar or whatever. It's like stupid shit, or sometimes even trolling people, or like I'll go up to people on the dance floor. I'll be like completely still, not even moving or anything. I'm like, what's your favorite dance move? And they're like, what? I'm like, mine is this, and I'll do something so fucking retarded. They're like, okay. I'm like, can you do that? And I guess just because of my vibe and the fact that I'm not like half foot in, half foot out, but I'm like entirely there, they're like, they're kind of like buying into it, into that reality, into that frame, and they're like, and then usually they try doing that retarded move. We have a laugh about it. I'm like, what's your move? And boom, you have a set, right? So, and it entertains me as well, and you can kind of bounce off from there, like do other retarded and fun stuff. Summary, it's been fucking amazing. It's been a journey, and it's a journey that I don't want to stop yet. I want to keep growing, I want to keep challenging myself, and I want to keep doing something that scares me. If not every single day, then every other day, however often. At least pursuing that fear or resistance, not necessarily even making progress every day, but as soon as you notice something's there, I want to be the first in line to chase, pursue, and remove that fear.
Alright, so that was it, the 60-day challenge. Hopefully you liked it, hopefully you learned a thing or two, hopefully you enjoy my perspective on things, and not only my perspective, but also the way I break down the individual concepts, the bits and pieces of what I learned, not only what I learned, but also how I perceive things and perceive that exact learning. Like, subscribe, comment, share. I'd love to get more people tuned in on the channel for more quality content coming up in the future. Thanks.